better choices, you will live a better life, so choose well. Oh yeah. Hey, that message is for everybody. I have the privilege to speak to kindergartners, actually TK through 12th graders, to parents, to educators, to professionals, because I think that message covers everybody. Better choices, better life, so choose well. Let's talk about this week. This week I spoke at a school, TK through 4th grade. Then I spoke through a kindergarten through 8th grade. Last night, did a family night, spoke to entire families. Great family night, fun dance. It was great to see a lot of fathers come out with their kids. Just had a great time. Had a couple of dads win some t-shirts and a Walmart gift card. They were excited about that. And today I'm headed up to alternative school, high school and elementary school, where these kids have been, I don't want to say kicked out, but they're not in the general population. Sounds like prison. They're not in the, I don't want to say normal either, because it's not abnormal for them. It's just a different school for them to get the extra help they need with behavior issues, with educational issues. And I don't say they're bad kids. I said kids who made maybe some bad choices, or some kids who haven't responded well to their circumstances, what they've been born into. And so I really enjoy this message of the Choose Well message. It's more than just me. We're building a team. We're building a program to help people just really consider their choices, because choices really, really do matter. Every choice you make will make you who you are. So for me, it's a privilege to be able to plant the seeds with the little kids. Some people say, you just spend more time with the older kids. Yeah, I get that. You see them making bad choices now. You see the result of their bad choices. And I agree, it's important to reach those students. But also, it's important to reach the little ones, to plant some seeds so these kids don't end up in a situation. Sometimes we spend so much effort working with kids, or that have already made bad choices. Some of them have made the choices for themselves. They're gonna continue on that path. Again, I never give up on them. I'm gonna keep planting seeds, but we need to plant more and more seeds when they're younger. And think about this: the earlier somebody gets this idea, when you make better choices, live a better life, when they feel empowered to understand that their choices matter and they get to choose. They don't always get to choose the circumstance they find themselves in, but they get to choose the choices that they make, how they respond. And I think about that when I'm driving a lot, because I'm driving right now to school. The other day I was driving 45 minutes to school and, doing 55 miles an hour. I was doing the speed limit, minding my business. Speed limit 35, let me slow down here. But I was doing the speed limit, set my cruise control, and I saw this lady getting ready to turn. She came to the stop, she getting ready to turn into my lane, and I mean, I was maybe a couple hundred feet from her. She turned right in my lane, and it was only one lane, and I had to slam on my brakes, had to swerve a little bit not to hit her. Almost had to go around her to get in the other lane because she came in that quickly. Temptation was to just lay on the horn and do all that, get upset, give her some sign language. I didn't do any of that. I was like, I'm good, I'm safe, she's safe, hope she learned, let's move on. And for me, that's kind of how we need to respond. I mean, not that I wasn't upset, but I think we all need to understand how we have the power to control how we respond. And I often talk about the idea of responding versus reacting. 'Cause I believe responding is a thoughtful, patient sometimes way of looking at things and responding, versus reacting is more like the knee jerk, where you just think it, you do it, you think you say it. And I've been talking to a lot of kids about being impulsive, because I can relate to that, because as a kid I was impulsive until my grandparents and my mom helped me understand how that wasn't going to be a good impact in my life or theirs. So, but I want to help students. So I think helping them respond in ways that is beneficial to them and those around them is important. Again, I don't tell kids you got to be perfect, because it's not about perfection, but progress. Making progress. Overcoming the stuff in your life. And one of the things I really like about what I get to do is students tell me their stories, and sometimes they feel they need to be heard. I just let them talk, and I don't let them, play the victim card and stay there. I want them to share their story, because sometimes just sharing where you are, how you're feeling, and knowing someone's listening to you makes a difference. But I don't want them to stay there. I tell them it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. You have to make some different choices for your life. At the end of the day, I mean, it's you. And that's kind of my message today to kids today, because some of these kids are fighting their teachers, don't want to show up to school. And at some point, somebody's not going to make you show up to school. Nobody's going to make you show up to work. It's going to be you. And that's what I want them to understand, their empowerment. They feel like the teachers are making them do things. And listen, they can't make you do anything. They can help you, and they're trying to help you. And I use the word make kind of loosely, because I think a job of a teacher or a good coach and even a parent is sometimes to get you or make you do things you don't want to do, so become the person you want to become. And I look back at my mom, my grandparents, and how they made us do things that we didn't want to do. But you know what? Now I'm grateful that they made me do some things. They didn't let me do other things. They put some guardrails. Like I'm driving right now, I see these little, I don't know what they're called, little pylons, things keeping you on the way. All these guardrails. I'm through Whiskey Town, and all these guardrails, because it's a lake up here, and they don't want you driving in a lake. You know, some of them don't want those guardrails. Well, those guardrails are there to help us. So I love what I get to do, and I want to thank you. And I want to ask you, I know it's been a long video. If you got this far in the video, hey, thank you. Some of my retention rate on YouTube be going, whew, I get that. People's attention span is kind of short. But I would ask you to help me with this. I believe this quote, our influence has an expiration date. Don't let it go to waste. That everybody's influence, even superstars, megastars, you know, their influence on their culture, their community has an expiration date. At some point, either they're gonna die, they won't be around, or people just stop listening. And I believe that same thing's true about me. My influence on these students, on these schools, has an expiration date. I'm aware of that, but I don't want to let it go to waste. And I want to ask you to help me with that, because some of you have finances that you can give, and you can help, and you can sponsor a school, sponsor a classroom, you know, sponsor to get some videos in the classroom, a video series, or sponsor to bring me to a school, to a community. I would love for you to do that, because again, your influence has an expiration date too. But some of you may not have finance, but you have influence. Maybe you're on a school board. Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're part of PTA or PTO or whatever y'all call yourselves these days. A lot of names for parents getting involved with teachers and working together with schools. Hey, your influence has an expiration date too. Don't let it go to waste. And if we can work together, if we can piggyback on your influence, my influence, hey, let's work together to reach as many kids as possible, because I'm talking to kids who are depressed, anxious, who have attempted suicide. One told me she didn't commit suicide because of what I said at the assembly, and I want to help these students' lives. And I'm talking, like, I'm meeting kids that are 12, 13, 14 who are smoking weed already, who are getting high, who spend, 6 hours a day on TikTok. And it's one thing to condemn them, say they're bad, but it's another thing to come alongside and help influence them to make better choices. So, hey, this has been the Drive Time, Mr. Brown. Just a little conversation. I'm looking forward to my day, although I got to get up early today. But again, it's all about choices. When you make better choices, you will live a better life. So choose well. Oh, yeah.